Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to episode number 2 of the Breakstep Cook Along Live. Today, we are going to be making some protein burritos. So, we are actually going to substitute the wrap that you would normally have with your burritos for an egg wrap. And I'm going to show you how to make that. And hopefully, it will turn out okay while we are doing this live video. So, let's have a look. So, what we've got is we've got 200 grams of less than 5% fat mincemeat. Now you can get this from the butchers, generally going to get a better quality source of meat, but as long as it's less than 5% fat, that's going to be the best source of meat for you. Then we've got a red pepper. You can use those, you know, those long sweet red peppers. You probably are going to get a slightly better flavour from those for your breakfast because, like I say, it is a little bit sweeter. However, I've just got a normal red pepper today. That's absolutely fine, and it will do. Then we've got some eggs, so fresh eggs, and we're going to use some full eggs and egg whites to make sure this wrap is large enough to hold the actual fillings for it. I'm just going to check super quick if you're getting this through. Brilliant, no, it's coming through. I was just checking on my stream. Morning, Brum. Thanks for joining, mate. So, we have also got a couple of pans set up on the hob, and then I have got this is just some Caribbean style seasoning. You can get some Mexican style seasoning just to try and spice it up a little bit, and you'll need some salt and pepper as well. So, what I've done, I've just preheated the grill because there's a little trick I like to do when I'm making like an omelette or making any eggs, because I'll always cook the bottom of the egg and then I will make sure I cook the top. Sometimes if you're trying to use it as a wrap and you try to flip it, then you might break the egg. So rather than having to flip it, as long as you've got a pan that is metal and will go under the grill, so as long as it's fully metal, you've not got like a plastic handle that will melt if you put it under the grill, then we'll cook the base of the egg and then we'll cook the top in the grill. So I've just preheated that in there for us. So first things first, what we'll do is we'll heat a non-stick pan. Now, because we're using mincemeat, we shouldn't need, as long as it's a good non-stick pan, you shouldn't need to use any oil for cooking this mincemeat. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just start to fry this off, but it's going to be dry fry. We'll just use the fat from the mince in order to start the cooking. Now, if people have got any questions throughout, then feel free to ping us something. I've just got a little video set up there so I can see if anyone's commented. And then what we'll do after this today, I'll make sure it's available to watch back on Facebook, and this will be going on my YouTube channel as well. So, like I say, this will probably take about 5, 6, 7 minutes just to start to fry off, and we'll start to brown it on there. So while that's doing that, I'm starting to cook. What I'll do is I'll just start to chop this pepper, and we actually need three whole eggs and 4 egg whites for the wrap that we're going to be using. So we'll cook these. Should I say. It's absolutely gorgeous out there this morning. Really nice day. So hopefully can get out in the fresh air in a little while. I don't know what everybody else is up to today, if you're having a chilled Sunday or if you are getting out for a walk while it's getting nicer weather. It's great to start to see that cold weather going away and us getting some brighter mornings and some nicer weather to just get out in. I mean, you should get out no matter what every day, but it just does make it that little bit easier, doesn't it, when it's nicer out there. Right, so peppers chopped, and I'm going to grab a couple more eggs. Just check on the mince on there. All right, so that's starting to brown quite nicely on there. And as you can see, we're not getting nothing sticking to the pan. We are just getting that cooking. Yeah, and there's enough fat in there in order to cook that with no extra oil. So if you add things like oil to the pan when you're cooking your higher fatter foods, try just getting a super decent non-stick pan, and you can save yourself a lot of calories there by not using your oils and butters as much, for sure. We've also got some coconut oil to cook the eggs with. We are going to use some oil in that pan for the eggs because they do tend to stick in that pan. All right, so right, so we'll just make sure that this is cooked through. So we're just keeping that on a low heat. And while that's cooking, what you can do, if you've not got a couple of pans, you can cook your mincemeat off, and then you can set it to one side in some foil, and then you can use the same pan to cook the eggs, for example. However, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to use a separate pan to cook these and try and get it all to come together. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We wanted 1, 2, 3. We didn't want that one. We just wanted 3 whole eggs. And then we want some egg whites as well. So put the egg whites in there. Save those. Not going to throw them away because Jessica likes to bake, so we'll save the yolks in case she wants to make anything later on today. Not sure if she will or not. Right, I'm going to grab a couple more eggs. And then pop the whites in of those. And we should have quite a big mixture going in the pan then. One more. So I really enjoy this breakfast because, like I say, you get a good hit of protein, but it's just dead tasty as well. It's almost like steak and eggs. A bit American. So yeah, that's nearly all browned off there. These eggs won't take that long to cook. So we'll just mix those. You can use a whisk if you want. I'm just going to use a fork. Whisk those up. And then a good way of making sure all of this stays together is to have some tin foil ready to pop the actual omelette in. So what we will do is we will get that ready, and then we've got a nice burrito all wrapped up when we finish. So we'll pop that on there for now. So still a little bit pink there. I'm cooking it on a bit of a low heat just so it doesn't burn. But so I've got time to cook these eggs as well. So I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon of coconut oil in the pan. Now, if you want, you can use olive oil as well. That's absolutely fine, not a problem. So just let that start to melt in the pan, and then we will get on with cooking this egg. And like I said, I'm going to put the rest of the top of the egg in under the grill, as I personally think you get it cooked a lot better. So it emulsifies really well, does the coconut oil. Okay, so just on a medium heat. Once you've got that in, pour the eggs in and just let that start to cook. And we'll give that a couple of minutes, and on our recipe we have got, you see, you can flip it over like a pancake, but I'm not going to do that today. So we'll just let that cook through on the base first of all. I'm just going to slightly just season with a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't have to add any pepper if you don't like it. Jessica's not the biggest fan of pepper, but she's not going to be having any, so. And this week you will get to see me actually make it and finish it off, so you can see the final piece come together. But for example, last week when I made those flapjacks, so I had them all week, and basically the mornings that I would normally have my oats or something like that, I actually ended up having those little flapjacks because they ended up as like quite a cakey consistency, and then had them with my yogurt and a little bit of honey, and just made a really good breakfast. You can even add a scoop of protein powder in there as well, and that kept me full all morning. You know, I didn't feel like I needed to eat anything else until 12 o'clock. And like I say, I'm always up early, you know, start work at 7 with clients, so that means I'm always eating about 6:30-ish, and then I was full for the rest of the morning, which is great. And they lasted all week. Jessica didn't really fancy any, so it lasted me all week, which was really good. People asked, over the weekend, through the week last week, they were struggling with things like prepping food. And for me, for the week, that was my breakfast sorted all week, just by having a little cook on Sunday morning, and it was all done and dusted. Right, so the base of that is starting to cook. I'm just going to check the sides of the omelette there. So just do with it maybe another 30 seconds or so on the base, and then I'll just pop that underneath. I'll just check. Is anybody? Nope, no questions, so all good in the hood. Right, so it's up to you. You could lightly fry off your peppers if you want. I'm going to leave them crunchy, because just to add a little bit of texture, as you've got the softness of the omelette, you've got the softness of the meat. If you cook your peppers as well, you'll probably find that everything's just a little bit soft. It might go a little bit soggy. So I'm just going to leave them whole, and that'll add a bit of crunch to the, I should say, not whole, uncooked, as it'll add some crunch and texture to the wrap. And I really like them raw anyway, so it's all good. But like I say, that's up to you, how you go about doing that. So, with your spices as well, I'm just going to add a teaspoon of those into the meat, and then I'm going to pop this egg underneath so it doesn't have to be too much. So this one is just a Caribbean spice mix. You can get these from all supermarkets, or you can get like a Mexican style flavoured one, and this will just add a little bit of a Caribbean style flavour. Right, so that egg's looking good, yes, but as we can see there, the top is still pretty raw, So rather than flip that now and cause it to break, I'm going to pop it underneath the oven, the grill, and then cook the top of that under the grill. And that just means I'll get a really good omelette that's nice and thick and firm. And then it shouldn't break down when I put the ingredients inside, when I put the filling in. And can't remember if I mentioned, I've used 200 grams of mince for myself. Obviously, if you're making it for a couple of you, you can double that. Usually, when you buy mince, you can buy it 500 grams, whatever, from the supermarket. I think is generally some of the smaller ones. I think you can even get 250. So yeah, if you wanted to get a small one just for you, or a medium pack if you're cooking for a couple of you. But yeah, 200 grams per person is pretty alright. And like I say, I've just kept this minced beef cooking on a low heat all the way through. But if you wanted to, you can cook that off nice and fast. Empty that into a piece of tin foil just to stay warm, and then reuse the pan if you've not got as many pans to cook from at home. Keep an eye on this egg. So that egg there's cooking really fast now. So what we'll do once these are cooked, we'll place the omelette on the tin foil, and then we're going to pop some spinach on there as well, and then I'm going to cook the peppers on as well. Now, like I say, I'm not cooking them, but you can cook them if you want to do so. If you want to soften them up a little bit, that's absolutely fine. Grab the spinach. So I've just got some little spinach. Again, I'm going to pop that in raw. Not going to cook that. Tend to find if you cook the spinach there, it'll wilt down to nothing and again go into mush. So that's again your call, but I'd definitely say for the spinach side of things, don't feel like you've got to cook that. Right, okay. So we're a cracking looking omelette there, and I'm going to pop that out onto the tin foil. Yeah. Now it's up to you. If you, for example, for this bigger pan here, what I could have done is used the bigger pan to create a larger omelette, for example, and that way I would have had a bigger wrap basically. So I'm hoping you guys can see. What I might do is just might zoom that in a little bit onto there, so you can see a little bit better when you're making the omelette. Hopefully. That's a little bit better for you. Alright, so what I'm going to do is add a handful of spinach. Handful of spinach onto there. Yeah. And then I'm not going to use all, that was a full pepper, so obviously I'm not going to use the whole pepper. Maybe about a third, maybe up to half. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, so probably just less than half of the pepper used on that. And then let's get the beef in. So as you can see as well, great colours when you're making this. Oh, it's going to be a large burrito. Right, the moment of truth is upon us. This is where it could all go wrong. So, basically, what I'm going to try and do is wrap this up as one piece, but I'm going to use the tin foil to keep it all together. That's what we're trying to do. All right, so let's go for it. Let's see how we go. See how we go. All right. Right, oh, a few bits falling out the end there. Let's roll that up on the front end. Roll that up there. Right. Okay, so let's just zoom back out a little bit. Here we go, wrapped it all up, ready to go. So as long as one end's secure on the bottom, we can start to peel the top. And let's have a look at this little beauty, all wrapped up, ready to go. All right, fab. So I'll pop a couple of bit more bits of pepper in on there. Right. Let me see. Nice bit of light there. Zoom in a little bit. Breakfast burrito, ready to rock and roll with a egg for a wrap. So with an omelette for the wrap instead of your normal, your normal wraps that you get, basically. All right, if you were there for the cook along and you made that, enjoy your breakfast. If you're watching it back, then I hope you managed to make it as good as I did. Like I said, if you want to make a bigger wrap so you feel like it's not going to be overflowing, you can always use a larger surface area for the pan in the base, and then just make sure you're using enough eggs in order to create a thick enough wrap that it doesn't all fall to pieces. But as you can see, by putting it in the tin foil there, it helps to stop it from falling apart. But that is a fantastic brekkie. I'm going to have a bite and let you know what it's like. Absolutely brilliant. Superb. So yeah, you get the flavours of the Caribbean spices, and then you've got the egg, and then the sweetness of the pepper. Brilliant. I definitely recommend not cooking the pepper. Adds that little bit of crunch. Otherwise, I think it will be a little bit soft. All right, that's it for today, guys. So thanks for joining us, and make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with all of our cook-alongs. And then we'll be doing another one next Sunday, so wait for Friday when I will post on our social media platforms on the ingredients of what we're going to be cooking, and then you can join us again next Sunday. All right? Thanks for joining, everyone. Ciao for now.